Yo, what up, Rod?
What's up? What's up?
Man, we live, man. Laker locker room.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Big move. We got to make once again the glorious Lakers. We pull off a generational player. Everybody's mad. Once again, the Lakers. We make it happen. But I haven't seen to recall somebody called this a long time ago, and I tried to tell people, you know, I didn't think it was gonna happen like this. I thought Luka was gonna come be a free agent because I always said Luka got a little Hollywood in it, and people didn't believe me. And I'm also looking at the next domino to fall, and you're gonna hear it here
Hmm.
first. And
Don't tell me honest.
yep, yep,
What?
yeah, yeah. The Dunn and the Freak, baby. We're gonna get the Dunn and the Freak together, and that's gonna be all she wrote. But but right now, let's celebrate the fact we got Luka on the roster. I think just get right down to it. I mean, um, Anthony Davis is a phenomenal player. Let's say that first and foremost. It's not like we gave up chop liver. Anthony Davis is, to me, probably the best two-way player in the league when you're talking about you can
Hmm.
guard legit guard, four positions on the floor effectively, and can give you 30 and 15. There's not a lot of players can do that. Anthony
Correct.
Davis is a phenomenal player. Sometimes he may not be focused, and he has some consistency issues. But this year he was playing really well. He's had some health issues. So has Luka. Lately he's been relatively healthy. So can't really knock him on that. And I'm gonna be he's gonna be missed. But I think what it came down to is that we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for Anthony Davis to snatch it from LeBron, and he just wouldn't take it. And it kind of, it's a signal to, a lot of the Laker nation out there that, even when LeBron left, we probably were gonna have to go get another number one because AD just wouldn't embrace being a number one guy. He's a number one talent with a number two mentality. And so, but he will be greatly missed. And I think maybe you could say in the short term, maybe Dallas won the trade in the short term if we just talking about this year, microcosm. You know, I think Anthony Davis is having a slightly better year than Luka because of injury and positioning and all that stuff there. So, so I guess you could say Dallas slightly won the trade for this year, but overall, well, we won that by a mile. We're set for the next decade to have a player to build around, and I'm very excited about it. But what's your thoughts on it?
I tell you what, Rob. My bad. I got frozen there just a little bit. But yeah, man, my thoughts on it, man, is like, for one, I believe this signals that the Lakers are definitely or finally looking towards for the future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking towards the future, and we're set for that future, right? It continues that long chain of superstar player for the Lakers, and you can't. It doesn't get much bigger than having Luka on the team. So for that, I like us obtaining Luka Doncic. Now, and then again, and I know it's how we're repeating each other, but in the short term, I think it's a great move for Dallas.
Yeah,
I think Dallas getting a big that can play offense and defense is what they needed. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for them.
especially
Um,
with the core of bigs they already have. So
right, and those bigs are the rim runners, alley oop guys that no threat on offense. So they works perfect because that's what AD wanted. He wanted guys like that around him. Plus, he gets a scorer in Kyrie, and he got a spot up shooter in Clay, who I think is gonna play a lot better now. But this ain't about Dallas, but we do gotta give a love to AD, and I'm looking forward to AD and seeing what he's gonna do over there. Now
yeah,
for us, it's the right move because now we got our guy. Like we got our guy. Once we get this next year or two out the way, now we can move forward for real. And now the work will begin to build the players around him. So obtaining Luca, Yes, I'm good with that. Um, Now it's just a matter of seeing what we do to go beyond that. So I think it's a good trade for both teams. I do have a question about it though, and I want to know what you think. Um, league wide though, for the Lakers and Dallas to pull this off, obviously nobody else had to know because there's other franchises that have better assets across the board. Maybe not the AD player, but they definitely had the assets like a OKC, the Jazz. They got. I mean, think about it. Ruth Gobert took how many picks to get
Oh,
Gobert?
6, I believe. But
So
finally,
you know what I mean?
finally, having Rob Pelinka paid off. All we've heard
Hmm.
is that Rob Pelinka has a bad relationship with all the GMs, and nobody likes him, and so he
Hmm.
misses out on deals. Well, now that we're starting to get a new guard, a new regime of GMs out
Yeah.
there that are younger, that have a better rapport with Rob Pelinka, hey, it paid off. We talking about I forget his name, the GM for Dallas. They got
Collins,
yeah,
Nico,
yeah,
Nico
yeah,
something.
yeah. They have a relationship, from Nike days with Kobe and everything, and so they're just kicking it and just spitballing, just kicking in his friends, and they throw out a scenario, and that scenario became reality, and so yeah, I mean it happens, what I'm saying, and so so kudos to Rob Pelinka for capitalizing on his relationship, and that's part of the NBA. I mean, you know, Danny Ainge and Kevin McHale, they've they've they've
They
hooked
worked
each
something
other
out with
up.
Garnett. Yeah.
Yeah, they've hooked each other up numerous times over the years. So,
Yeah.
with smaller deals too. So, it is what it is. It's like sometimes it's about the relationship. But my question is about fit. Um,
Let's talk about it.
it's going to be interesting. You're talking about two of the most ball dominant guys
Yes,
ever,
sir.
ever.
They do the same thing.
Yeah, and you know, uh, obviously I think LeBron has a better shot of playing off the ball, but man, you talking about trying to teach your old dog new tricks. You
Yeah, it's
know,
too late for
um,
that.
yeah. Will he be able to do it and be okay with it? But we've seen flashes with Reeves. Seeing him play with Reeves is giving me promise because
Hmm.
he does let Austin Reeves handle that ball quite a bit, and he gets off the ball. He let Austin Reeves do his thing. So if he'll share the ball with Austin Reeves, surely he'll share with Luka. The question is, you know, um, how much of that balance work out? Will Luka be okay with, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, 60-40 split? Does it have to be a 70-30 split on who gets the ball the most? I don't know, but that's gonna be interesting. Um, I know another trade might happen. We're really hoping doesn't happen. I'm really hoping we don't trade Austin Reeves. Here's why. Austin Reeves is Ginobili. He's
Yeah.
Ginobili. If you just take his name away and where he came from and this, that, and the other, and just look at his game and his production, and just ask yourself, would you trade Manu Ginobili for a pick and roll catch a lob center?
No. I
I
wouldn't
would.
trade. I wouldn't trade Ginobili. The Ginobili that we have grown to know. I wouldn't trade him for anybody unless it's a top five player in the league, which they wouldn't trade a top five player in the league for Ginobili. So he's
Right.
an integral part of what the Spurs, their fabric and connect. I mean not connect. What's the young man Reeves? He could play that role like you're saying, and I think he's a asset. He's a player that we brought, kind of brought up. So I would keep him too. I would keep everybody else. Really, I would. This is how I look at it, Rod. I don't think LeBron and Luca quote unquote will work, and I'm okay with that because this ain't about right now. For somebody like me or somebody like you, we're not looking at just for now. We're looking at As we
But
said
are we
earlier,
though?
we're looking at down the line, right?
Are we though?
We,
Are we
we
though? I'm greedy because I am still
well,
looking at. I'm looking at. Hear me out.
I don't.
We're,
Go
we're
ahead.
looking at we're looking at LeBron James, and I'm gonna give the man his flowers. We're looking at LeBron James, who's still able to give you 25, 8 and 8. You know,
Hmm.
okay. So you got a player of that caliber, and I
Yeah.
mean, lately he's been doing it efficiently. Everybody's touching the ball. It's been a beautiful thing to watch. He's actually giving effort on defense. So why not strike while the iron's hot? He still got something in the tank. Um, and if that means we gotta, I love Hachimura. If I had to move somebody, I may have to move Ruri, Gabe,
Hmm.
and maybe throw in another piece to go get a Miles Turner. Throwing. We didn't give up a lot of draft picks in this deal.
Well,
So
that's because of the two owners knowing each other. Because if I was a opposing team, I would have asked for a lot more than what we had to give up.
right.
But
So
you know, but carry on.
the fact we still have a lot of draft picks, I
Right.
think we can pull a Miles Turner for Hachimura being the focal point players. Of course, there'll be other smaller players involved. I think we can
Right.
pull that. If you bring in
Hmm.
Miles Turner with this roster, and we still able to keep Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith as our
Hmm.
defensive lockdown guys, with the Miles
Hmm.
Turner, who's a pretty good defender, uh, you know, um, we can do some damage, especially when you consider now you're moving Austin Reeves to the bench, and Austin Reeves is now potentially your sixth man, of the year. He's a six man of the year candidate. Not this year. He started too much, but now you're
Yeah.
putting a starter on the bench, and I mean, yeah, that's dangerous. And I mean, even though supposedly they're not supposed to work together because they so ball dominant, man, a pick and roll with Luka and LeBron is dangerous because of their IQ.
Yeah.
They're gonna quickly see the mismatch. If you do anything wrong with that pick and roll, they're gonna exploit you badly. And so if you can give them a roll man like a Miles Turner, who can also roll outside and hit the three, Miles Turner can shoot the three. You know,
Hmm.
um, you know, honestly, I may sound crazy. I believe we'll Miles Turner away from being able to, at worst, be a game 7 in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, that's fair enough because you do have Luca and LeBron on the same team. That's fair enough. My concern though is yes, we've looked good for this stretch, but we lost a huge defensive presence with Anthony Davis. We lost not only the shots that he actually blocked, but the shots that he alters, the rebounding that he snatches. That because now our big man is LeBron. You know what I'm saying? At least I think so. And like we got a major hole there. But you saying the Miles Turner comes in, that kind of helps a little bit with
Bolster
that. It helps.
bolster
You know what I'm
everything.
saying?
Plus,
Right.
plus,
It brings a 6'11" guy in the middle. It helps. But I'm
plus,
just concerned
plus,
about. Oh,
but
go ahead.
another factor that helps too, though, is that, and we didn't get to see them play a whole lot together.
Hmm.
Vanderbilt comes back, he changes things because that's a
Yeah,
rebounding
he's a
defender. I've
good
been
role
watching.
player.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith together, they raise hell. Next time the Lakers play, just watch them when they're on the floor together. They're
Yep.
terrorizing people. You're talking about 2 6'8" guys with quick feet, and they're switching everything. And because they're playing defense with such intensity, that makes Hachimura raise his level up. So now Hachimura is kind of looking like a poor man version of them. LeBron joining in. So now you got 4 6'8" guys, all strong, all fleet of foot. And they can just switch. They're just switching. They're just switching. So your pick and rolls and your backdoor screens and all that stuff there, you're not getting the favorable matchup. You just keep getting another 6'8" long guy. that's
That
that
that is that's
that's a
valuable,
problem.
but
That's
my
very
concern is still that naturally LeBron isn't really putting the max effort on defense. And we already know what Luka's lack of defense is going to be.
Right.
So you got
I'm more
two
concerned.
players.
I'm more concerned with Luka than I am LeBron though, because I'm seeing
Well,
LeBron. What LeBron is showing me that if push comes to shove,
mhm,
playoffs, I'll dig in and do it. Luka has never
well,
shown me to play defense.
right, right. And Luke and LeBron's advanced age and mileage. I'm not saying I expect him to play defense. I think that that comes with the turf or territory of being an older player. That there's going to be just like when I was an older player playing pickup ball. Like my defense intensity at some point was gone, and I was just out there just making sure I could just stay alive out there on that end. But I conserve my energy for offense. And now he's a special case because he's a special gifted athlete, and obviously he take care of his body and stuff and all that. But still being not the type of player that he's been over his whole career, we still gonna have two guys on the floor with that concern. I'm just bringing up where I feel
I
like
got, I
other
got you.
teams would try to exploit us. But what do we do to counter that? You just mentioned two players that play defense and they can kind of help make up for that. So it's
And
going to
and,
be
and,
very
and, and
curious
I'm
to see how this works.
and I'm gonna say not just play defense. They play infectious defense.
Hmm.
Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt has a Dennis Rodman, Ron Artest type ability to where watching him play
Yeah,
defense inspires others to don't normally play defense to play defense. And like I say, I'm not like you're right. If we just talking about we're gonna roll with this roster that we got, we don't have a chance in hell. But I think we can make a move, and I think we can. I keep hearing Miles Turner be going to be available. Miles Turner. If we can pull off Miles Turner and not give up the form, especially if we can keep Reeves. So that means that we
right.
got a bench. So you got a bench. You got two of the two smartest players in the league.
Yeah,
With the guy in Miles Turner that can give you 20 and 10 a night. We still have Jax Hayes. That's your role man. I think he's gonna get way more lobs with Luka. He's been playing better. Yeah, I don't, and
what
then, you still got Dalton Connect still developing. He's still getting better and better.
that gives him
I'm
more time.
right. It gives him more
Hmm.
time. And then, and that don't even include the buyouts. It's going to be some guys get bought out. It's going to be some guys that, that we can pick up, come in and, because at that point, all you need is the hustle guys, the dirty guys, do some dirty work. You bring in those type of guys, who knows? But, I'm just not
Yeah,
gonna.
my
I'm
my thing is
I'm
that
I'm, I'm not gonna throw. I'm not gonna throw away the season when I got one of the greatest players of all time with one of the greatest prospects of all time on the same team, and I don't try to capitalize
I
on
get
it.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Like I don't think, like, and I said this the other night talking with Antoine, that this trade just feels like this is just the beginning, right? So only looking at it as it is now, I just feel like okay, we're set for the future. But it feels like it's so incomplete because if you give up an Anthony Davis, right, and you know this because we've always talked about AD, even when he joined the Lakers the first, from the jump, we talked about how valuable he is. When you lose a player that is basically your anchor on defense and your interior post player and can pull out and shoot the three and all that stuff, you're leaving a major hole there. I just feel like the Lakers wouldn't just leave that hole that Grand Canyon wide and not try to do something there. So I'm ready to see what happens between now and Thursday on the trade deadline, and we'll see what kind of move is made. Will it be a Miles Turner? Valanciunas is now, from my understanding, was going to Sacramento, so that's another big that was could have possibly been there. I don't know
I
who
didn't.
else out there.
I didn't
You know
want.
what I'm
I didn't
saying?
want him anyway. I didn't want him
You
anyway.
know, there's a Nurkic that might be floating around. You got
I
but
don't want him
I don't
either.
know. I don't know who it's going to be. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we'll see what they do.
Those are guys I would have wanted
Those are
if
the
we.
plotters.
Yeah, those are guys I would have wanted if we had AD. With AD gone,
Hmm.
no, we need somebody you can
Now
get
you
the
need a
ball.
more athletic guys.
Yeah, guys you can turn around and
Hmm.
face up. But hey,
Oh, I before you ask me that question right quick, I know you got to roll in a minute. A guy that I will say, if the Lakers get him, and I'm high on this guy, and some people know I am. I've been high on him for years, and that's Vucevic. Now, what would it take to pull a Vucevic over to LA? I don't know, but Vucevic, he's a double double waiting to happen. He can shoot from the outside, he can play inside, and he can pass, which is that would tie right into our top two guys with that ability to pass the ball. So I'll be curious to see if that happens.
my
If
issue with
Chicago sells him.
my issue with Vu is is his defense.
Well, which is, we gave up AD.
Which is
So,
what we and like I say, to me, Miles Turner is a poor man AD. That's why I'm like,
mhm,
okay, if we had to lower
yeah,
our position at the power forward, but we severely upgraded it at point guard,
yeah,
Miles Turner will suffice. That's who I'm really hoping we get. But
okay,
hey,
okay,
I think that about wraps it up with our show, man. I know it's a quick
yeah.
Laker locker room, but that's what we doing. We trying to give y'all impact, quality. What I'm saying, something y'all can get through at one time. And I'm looking forward to what comes next. And stay tuned, man. We can do this. After the trade deadline, we can have another Laker locker room
Oh,
and
yeah,
talk about what
yeah.
happened, because I think something else is brewing, definitely.
Well, hey, we'll be on the lookout for it because Thursday, 3 o'clock is going down, and then me and you'll talk it up, and if we do it, man, we'll throw it out here, right? As long as everybody hits the subscribe button, they'll get the update. Boom, there we go. So, Rod, I definitely appreciate you, man, diving in here while you could, and we'll do it again. All right,
Peace.
see ya.
See you.